Hello, everybody. Welcome to the ZiaWoolz StudioBuzz podcast episode, maybe 28, but it's the last podcast of this year of 2018. So thank you for joining me today and my guest, Oma. I know she wasn't here last time on the English episode, which I recorded without her just before she arrived. But today I made her come on because I know a lot of you wanted to see her in person, even though she won't speak English because she can't. But yeah, we have to have her on, right? Okay, my goodness, so much time has passed. I am sorry, but there was just no way I could have done it. That's how our December goes, and travels and getting ready for Christmas and finishing presents and all of the good stuff that happens before Christmas. But now, before this year ends, I thought I gotta pop in and say hi and share a few things that have happened. Yes, I wanted to thank you for the support for ZiaWoolz in this past year, and for all the many messages, for getting in touch with me, for reaching out and saying hi on Ravelry or in person, or I've met so many of you in the past year. So I am very happy about that. Christmas was good, and you may remember that we have been traveling. We had a wonderful trip to Cuba. That was the cruise with our whole family, including my mom. And then after that, I got to spend an extra week with my husband in Florida, which was, of course, also super nice, even though it was very cold for 2 or 3 days, and everybody was surprised there. The locals were in shock, I think, and so were we, because we did not bring a lot of warm clothes, only what we had anyways from our flight coming from New Mexico. That was kind of funny. And yeah, but you don't need to hear about my travels, so let's jump right in. And I wanted to continue to talk a little bit about the makings that we were working on last time for the orphanage in Russia. Most of the things have been mailed out and made it over Christmas to Kazakhstan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I kind of like, it's this one of those words that I can only say in German, kind of. And so I wanted to show you the socks that we finished. Now I can't remember. Honestly, did you do them? Oh, okay. These were apparently the ones that I made. And it's a German sock yarn, and they're just cute and colorful. I made the foot quite skinny and long. I don't know, but I'm thinking people's feet are so different, so hopefully they will fit someone. So they will go in the next package. And these are the ones that you made. Die hast du gemacht, no?
Yeah.
Mom made hers differently, a little wider in the foot, but I think equally just great. And we used leftover yarns, and they fit perfectly. 2.5 millimeter needles, and I believe 4 times 12 stitches. 48 Maschen, ne? 4 mal 12, oder? Haben wir gemacht? Yes. 48 stitches. And this is one of the bags that I had made for Fiona when she was younger to carry around toys, and I thought that was just perfect for projects for the kids. I still have some leftover combined bags of sock yarn in here that I want to use for more socks. And also, oh, this is so cool. So we love to go to Goodwill, and Mom found these little treasures which we saved. They're made from real sock yarn. I mean, these are really hand knitted. And she found 2 pairs. This is one. Where's the other one?
No.
And these, aren't they adorable? You wonder how they ended up at Goodwill, because they don't seem worn at all. Also die sehen ja absolut neu aus. Ne? Ich glaube nicht, dass die irgendjemand angehabt hat, oder?
Nee.
Nee, ne? Ja. Witzig. Ja, die hast doch auch du gemacht. Ja. Waren die gestreift oder war die Wolle komplett so?
Die Wolle war so.
I apologize for not really knowing what yarn this is, because it was sock yarn that was in my stash, and a lot of the German sock yarns have been in there for possibly years. So this was another pair that Mom made, and this is such beautiful colors. Toll. Okay, but now tell you how my mother puts me to shame when she's here. But then again, well, I shouldn't say that, because I'm the one who cooks, which she totally loves. That's the part that she does not care for so much, even though there are a few German dishes that we always have her cook that we're looking forward to. But some of them I've already learned to make, and so it's something that's on me now. And I think one of the things that everybody loves is German Schnitzel. Na, das musst du immer kochen, wenn du hier bist. Schnitzel, yeah. Sometimes we make it with a mushroom sauce. Jägerschnitzel, but not always. But otherwise, I've taken over. And there's just one more thing that I want her to cook for us before she goes
gelernt.
Was hast du gelernt?
Hier habe ich gelernt, Rouladen.
Yeah, oh yeah. And there's another, oh yeah, that's right. I almost forgot. We made rouladen, which is thin sliced beef that's then rolled up with a special kind of spices and all of that. You may know that. If you've been to Germany, you may remember that. That's something that she taught me, so next time I can cook it for her. And another thing that I want her to make is goulash before she leaves. So that's something that we already got the meat, and we're getting ready to fix that. Goulash Rouladen in Braten mit Klößen, ne? Yeah. Yeah. So, but talk about putting me to shame.
I want pancakes.
Oh, yeah.
Es ist für Oma auch am liebsten.
The kids love Oma's pancakes. I can't make pancakes like Oma does. I can make a mean crepe, but not really the pancakes like she does. So, but jetzt zeig mal deine Decke, Mama.
Oh, yes.
Okay, ich kann ja zuerst mal erzählen, deine andere. I can show you the blanket she made 2 and 3 years ago. She made it 3 years ago, and 2 years ago she made it a little bit bigger. Can you see? This thing is ginormous, okay? But now she came here before Thanksgiving, and let's take a look at how big this latest project of hers has gotten, because she does not need to switch from, I said the other day, I fly from project to project like a butterfly from a flower to flower. But she sticks to it. Check it out. Oh my goodness, it's almost done, seriously. Wow. Wow. Oh, it doesn't fit in the camera anymore. Passt nicht mehr aufs Bild.
Yeah.
Wow. So last year my son Lewis got a blanket, and this year we said that Fiona's gonna get one, and so she knows, and she already said that this is gonna be a special memory and kind of like an heirloom type of thing. Oh, das ist ja eine tolle Wolle. Wow, sometimes I see these beautiful yarns in there. Wow, zeig mal grad.
Sind mehrere.
I would totally buy this. Can you see?
Da.
That's all that's left. Wow, wissen wir natürlich nicht mehr, was das ist, ne? Keine Ahnung, schade. Die ist ja hübsch. So, my mother made a blanket while I made a hat. No, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it's kind of that way, kind of, because some of my plans did not work out at all. Like, I was really hoping to finish my sweater, but I have just not been in the mood for fingering yarn. Endless knitting. But at least I finished the body of my Yumi sweater, and I picked up the stitches for the sleeves, and that's where I am right now. Yes, I know I'm super slow with this. I have alternated skeins in the body every 2 rounds, I should say. And, but there is still kind of a little bit of a pooling thing going on, whatever. I am totally looking forward to wearing this, but I don't know, I just get tired of it. I knit a little bit and then I get tired of it and I put it away. So that's just the way it goes. In the meantime, you also know that I was planning to make a shawl, which didn't work out. Because, I tell you why, because I picked purple yarn in exactly the same color that she already has a shawl. So you know how I got quite far along in this. And then all of a sudden we were going out and she put on her purple shawl. And I'm like, no way am I gonna make another purple one. So I have dyed up, I haven't even frogged the purple one, but I have dyed up a beautiful green that I'm thinking I can use. Schöne Farbe, no?
Mm-hmm.
This was actually a blue, which in my mind was kind of dull and grayish and lifeless. And I just threw it in a pot with green. Oh, I hope you didn't see it. We kind of got the light coming from behind us. We'll see if I can adjust that a little bit. Is this better? Maybe. Okay, well, that's the plan. The other one was a silk blend, which I like a little bit better, but just in terms of a drape. But I'm thinking I may use this or a new base, a new ZiaWoolz lace base. So I haven't decided yet. I'll see. There's time because I won't get this done for her birthday mid-January. So it's going to be a Mother's Day thing, and I have plenty of time to decide on that. I finished the mittens that I had told you about. but I did not gift them because I just wanted to be on the safe side, and so I asked the recipient if she had a favorite color or what it was, and she said kind of like orange, rusty colors. And so I ended up picking another pair that I had from Handspun, which she loved, so I'm glad I switched. And this one with where I used cashmere mini skeins and some Handspun from Bats. So these will go in the bin for next year's studio tour. Last time I had not yet published my pattern, but the pattern for the Duke City Mitts is out by now. It's on Ravelry as a free pattern, which is my personal thank you to the community. And I hope that you are planning to make a pair, or that you maybe have already made a pair. They are a beautiful gift that, unless you live in the Antarctica, I think everybody likes these. Even if you're living somewhere where it's cold, some people have worn them in the house for typing, like kids. I know one woman, she sent a pair to her daughter in Boston who ended up working in her apartment on the computer wearing the fingerless mitts. They're just nice. Nice little gift. And another gift that I have finished are, and I cannot show you the hat sadly, but I made a hat and a matching pair of socks in Michigan, University of Michigan colors. I told you the story that my daughter's boyfriend gifted me yarn for my birthday, which totally warmed my heart. I mean, he went out of his way to get yarn for my birthday and to pick colors that I liked. I mean, just super, super nice. And so I dyed up a custom colorway just for him for socks, and also on my Sandia yarn, and this is my Duke the Worsted Superwash Merino. And both were done. The socks fit him perfectly, and so does the hat, but I will have to see that I get a picture of him wearing the hat. He said he loved it, so that's good. One happy recipient. Another gift item that I finished that you don't know about is a hat for my son, because I did buy the yarn in Florida, in Miami, at a yarn store that I visited. And this is the yarn. It's a bluish gray Rowan. Do you say Lima or Lima? I don't know. And the colorway is Patagonia. I designed the hat pattern, which I will write up. I'm still undecided on the name, but once I'm there, I will let you know, of course. But the hat, it was kind of like, it was a fail in regards to that I was hoping I could get away with using just one ball, but I ran out of yarn. I had about this much left, I mean, on the top of it to close it. So luckily I found another ball and a D-stash on Ravelry. And without further ado, here is the hat. As you can see, it has a textured pattern with a nice crown closure. My son loves it, and while it is designed to be worn like this, wears it like this, or that's how he wore it last night. He went out. We've had a blizzard yesterday. This looks ridiculous. Jetzt kannst du lachen. So sieht es doch super bescheuert aus. We had that blizzard, but he went out to meet some friends, so it was kind of funny that he just had to go out and see his friends, because some of them came from college over the Christmas break, so the time is, they don't have a lot of time to spend together. I guess that's why they just had to go. But he needed a hat, which brings me to another hat that I want to tell you about. This is another one that I will publish shortly, and it will be called 3. What happened was that my daughter said she wanted a white hat. So as you know, that's how we roll. The kids ask and we make. So she got her hat, then she actually, and I put it in her Christmas calendar with the hat for my son on the same day. They both got a hat. But then I thought, well, I'm going to knit for her birthday, for her boyfriend, I'm going to make a hat as well, where it's going to be matching with hers. She added a pom-pom that she made to hers, which is white, and I was looking for it, and I couldn't find it because she's out of town. She's traveling. His, I can show you. That's his. A very simple beanie. And hers looks exactly the same. You may have seen the ridiculous picture I took of myself on Christmas with my longer slouchy version. And I will put it on for you. I just love this thing so much. It's a thing.
Jeder spinnt auf seine Weise.
What? I love
it.
it. I love it. She calls me crazy, but she always does. I mean, that's what mothers do, right? They call their kids crazy. So I had this done, and of course it was instantly dubbed the Cheesepuff. Of course, right? So I showed you 2, and I have one more here that I wanted to show you that I have finished that I can show you, but then I tell you the story about the other hats. Can you see? I can put it on. This is a men's size, so it's not really meant to be slouchy, but I guess this one turned out slouchy, kind of, because even though my gauge was a little different, I stuck to my row count. So the story was that I told you I finished the hat for my daughter and for her boyfriend and for myself and the one for my son in the different pattern. But then my son came home and told me that one of his friends just shaved his head. And I'm like, the poor kid needs a hat. And so off I went and I dug in the yarns, and I needed yarns that would work up fast. So this is the last one that I finished yesterday, but I have made 3 more pairs, which, not pairs, you don't say pairs to a hat. I've made 3 more hats that he took yesterday to his friends, and I think he gifted 2 of them. I think he very much liked one of those 3 hats, so maybe he kept that for himself. So the story behind the name is, and it's not related to the number 3 at all. This is just a funny coincidence that I have 3 of these hats at home. But the story is that it started off with me picking for this one 3 yarns where I thought this is kind of like symbolic of how the pattern was developed. I have I'm holding 3 yarns together, and each one of them is kind of important, at least for mine. The other ones I kind of did variations, but this one has 1 yarn for warmth, which is wool, 1 yarn which is fuzzy, which was, I have no clue what, and a 3rd yarn which was a soft yarn for softness, duh, which was, I believe, a Lana Grossa Pep, I believe that was the name. And all of these were deep stash, and I will not even bother trying to find out what the fuzzy one was, or that soft one that I think is the Pep. And the 3rd one, the woolen one, was a handspun. I won't even put the information on the screen because the whole purpose of this hat is really that you find something at home in your stash. And you don't even need to make it woolen necessarily, because here, I mean, this one is wool, but I held the variegated yarn together with a very dark blue and a black, yes. So I hope as soon as this is out, you will make some too. This is awesome gift knitting. Yesterday, I managed to make 2 hats in one day, but also we had a blizzard, so there was not much else happening, and the light wasn't good enough for any podcasting because it was really dark. I want to show you this year's ZiaWoolz Christmas yarn, even though by the time the podcast is up, it's probably going to be out of, there's probably none left in this shop, but I'm just, every time I walk by this, it gives me so much joy, and it is just covering my current project of love. That's why I'm going a little bit wild in my non-existing order. So here is something which I super much enjoy. Oh, almost forgot. That's why this is a very fast, quick knit. My hat pattern, the 3 9mm needles. Dann sag tschüss, Mama. Mom wants to say goodbye.
Tschüss, bye bye. Habt eine gute Zeit. Bye. Tschüss, bis zum nächsten Mal.
Neues Jahr sagen. Das kannst du auf Englisch, oder?
Happy New Year. Bye.
Danke, Mami. All right. So in my basket, in my little basket here, I have a current sock project, and you need. Hi, I'm back. I'm sorry. This is a bit of a choppy episode because, for one, I am totally out of practice, and for 2, because my phone cut me off yesterday. I didn't realize there was no storage left, so that took me quite some time to fix again, and hopefully today there will be no more problems. I have made a list of things that I still need to talk about because I recorded some more and it was cut off again and again, so it was so choppy. I had to go over everything again to know what exactly I have shown you already. And one of the things I did show you that was already recorded, but that I want to show you again because I knitted so much more on it, is a pair of socks. This is a super quick knit, and I am so in love with this. I hope you like it too. I have decided to make another pair of socks for my husband. Well, I made him a pair of socks probably about 15 years ago, and he did not wear them until just recently. And he loves them all of a sudden. I don't know what happened, but he's been wearing them so much that I decided now it's time to make him another pair. And so I'm thinking, I asked him, what do you like about the socks? Is it the color? Is it how long the leg is? Or what is it? And he said it's really how warm they keep him. So I thought, how can I crank out a pair of socks quickly? I'm gonna hold the yarn double. So I went stash diving. I have quite a bit of sock yarn in my stash, and I picked a yarn which is called Step by Osterman. And let me just grab it. This is how it looks like. And what makes these special is that I'm holding the yarn double. So I wasn't sure at first if I was just going to use 2 patterned yarns, but I thought that's maybe too much craziness. So I found some yarn bits that I got gifted from Mom's German friends that were solid and that I thought would work very well held together with this. And they are these 2. And a beige, which made a run and went under the table. But here is where I am right now. And believe it or not, even though I started this just 3 days ago, this is sock number 2. I am probably just reinventing the wheel, and many people have done this before me, but I am so in love with this, and I am yet again planning on writing this up and putting it up on Ravelry, because if you love this as much as I do, check it out. Is this not a beautiful sock or what? You can tell this is the section where I just knitted the light gray beige yarn until I ran out. Then I had a matching green that I used here. I knitted until I ran out, and then I held it with the dark green. And I have not exactly the same colors that I'm using for the second sock, and again, I will not try to match. I will just knit until I run out of the yarns that I hold with it, though. So the little ball of the beige and those 2 that I showed you here. I'm super excited about these. Wow, I'm so loving it. I can't wait to try this again with another colorway. They knit up so super fast. And I think that my friends Jessie and Sue, they are Sue Carney and Usha on Instagram, who host an annual Scrappy Sock Knit Along. I'm thinking that this might be an option for 2019. I'm hoping that you guys plan to do the Crappy Sock Knit Along again, and wouldn't that be fun to do a double, holding double scrappy socks knit along. Just a thought. Maybe you are with me when you see these. So, what's next? I did want to mention what I'm wearing because I did not do that yesterday. This is my Breathing Space by Vera Välimäki which out of ZiaWoolz yarn Sugarloaf, and I've made this I want to say about 3 years ago, and the yellow is I believe Gold Rush, and the stripes is the colorway Angry Sunset. Because this is a light fingering yarn, I had to adjust everything because my gauge was way off. So this is what I remember, that I really fudged it quite a bit, and this is why the fit is not at all what the original pattern looks like. Let me show you how it fits on me. It is very kind of A-shape, but I love it anyways. And this is a fabric that I love very much. It's a light yet woolly warm sweater. My sleeves are 3/4 lengths. Love the color, love the yellow, love the pattern. It's a good one. So that was the sweater that I'm wearing, but back to what I am working on right now. I, of course, had to cast on a pair of Christmas socks, and I may have even shown you the beginnings in the last episode. I ended up gathering all my Christmas yarns into this little pretzel bin, and I have in it the ZiaWoolz yarn from last year, which was Kiss Me Under the Mistletoe. It's on Sundancer. Here I have a Marigold Jen yarn from 2016, which is in the colorway Merry and Bright. And I have Elf here by Mint Rain Yarns. So that was a good one that I bought last year. And what I am working on lives in my cute bag that I made a few years ago. I just love the Southwest here. And it's my yarn that I bought in Las Vegas just recently by Pink Adobe Dye Works. And it's called Vintage Christmas North Pole. And I think it looks super vintage. Love the icy grayish blue in there. Love how it patterns. Just past the heel. That is my Christmas knit of the year. I'm socks. I am doing my standard 2.5 millimeter needle, while for the, I call them double up buttercup, the held double socks, I am using 3.5 millimeter needles. I tried 4 millimeters, but I thought that I did not like the fabric I got. That was too loose. So what else did I want to show you? I have another basket over here. And I have been blessed this Christmas with so many thoughtful gifts. And if you are one of the people that gifted me something, I want to thank you. I am not going to go into everything, but I did want to show you one thing which goes into the category stash enhancement, and it's kind of a special half skein of sock yarn, which my friend Vicky gifted me, and we have the plan to make sister socks. She has already started on hers, and I am still undecided on what to combine with the yarn, because I thought at first I was going to use this. It's a half skein, so I'm thinking I make shorty socks, which I love, or I'm not sure. Stay tuned, be surprised, just like me. So either this bright pink, which was just a play colorway. I was using some residue dyes in the pot. I wanted to exhaust the dye, and then I did that again after that, and added a dark spicy orange, rusty orange, which came out beautiful as well. So both of these might work, but I don't know. Yesterday I was looking at these two and I thought they were going to be the ones. And then I thought, nah, probably the rusty brown is better. And today when I held them together, I was still not 100% happy. So I may go stash diving on that one too. But I will cast on soon. New stash was also one ball of yarn which I purchased for a future knit, and it is this beautiful Rowan felted tweed. I love the color so much. This is going to be a nice one, and I think it's a great color for me. What I have in mind is the Poet from the Line magazine. So I thought at least I can make a little swatch, but I was thinking about getting the whole sweaters quantity, and then I thought, think about how many sweater yarns you have at home. Then I remembered that I have the yarn for the, is it called Susu, or am I making that up? By Nora Gone. I bought that yarn 2 years ago. Had the pattern signed when Nora Gone was in Albuquerque at my yarn store. And now, so I remembered that sweater, but then once I got home, I thought, oh my goodness, I wanted to knit a sweater for my son too, and I already have the yarn for that one, which I bought this summer in Germany. So I have a line of things that I want to knit, and I think before I cast on another sweater, I will have to finish at least the Yumi, and I'm not going to finish the Amory because the Amory is just too time consuming at this point for me. It's too fine, and it's kind of like not, well, it's kind of went into the naughty, too slow of a knit or whatnot corner. I'll get back to it, I'm sure of it. So I will at least swatch for the Poet soon, and the interesting thing will be that it is a little bit heavier than the pattern, than what the pattern asks for, but I think the needles you're supposed to use are, again, 3 millimeters and 3.5 millimeters. So I assume 3.5 millimeters for the main body. But I would I don't even know. I'm thinking I'd rather use a yarn that is a little bit heavier and knit a smaller size. Yeah, that will work, I think. So that's my Rowan Felted Tweed. Stash enhancement. There's more, but I didn't bring it. I have spinning fibers, lovely stuff, and I am working on something that I told you about last time, and it's that I am frogging a handspun sweater, which was too thick and bulky. Gorgeous, gorgeous yarn, gorgeous color, but just too warm for New Mexico. Yeah, it's kind of funny because I say that and we just had a blizzard and we have really, really cold weather. So this would be like the once in every couple of years that I could actually wear the sweater, but no regrets at all. The sweater is already being undone, except for this is the last piece that I still have. Here in the middle, I mean, it was a nice sweater. Here in the middle, it had these crochet elements. I got the pattern from a German magazine, many years old. And, but I'm telling you, undoing the plies of this thing is a nightmare and seriously requires two people. I have to make an effort to get this done before my mom leaves because I don't even see how this could be done by one person alone. The problem is, and I'll show you what I have already done. These are finished. And they're not as, I mean, even a small ball of yarn is not that small because it's very, very dense because you pull and so your ball is quite firm. There's no give. But what made the undoing so hard was that the fuzz, which is probably either an Angora or alpaca fiber that was blended in there, and that tends to felt connect with the I mean, it holds together the two plies. So, and what I thought to undo the plying with a spinning wheel, it did not work as well as I thought because visually you cannot quite figure out how much twist you have to give the yarn to undo. It's kind of, I'm not quite sure what the reason is, if I haven't been consistent with my plying speed or if it was the problem that it's, or if it's just really that it's hard to see. It's really hard to see because it's kind of like, yeah, it's so well connected with the fuzz that, yeah, it's hard to figure out how much twist you got to give to take it out good enough to make the undoing of the plies very easy. So we were laughing because we do about 1 or 2, maximum of 3 balls of yarn per day. Not today, but yesterday when we worked on this in the morning. It was so funny because I had the ball of yarn was on the floor. I had my foot on the yarn itself, and then we were stretching and I was pulling apart. We were both winding. Then the yarn would go flying because you drop it because it tensions, or I had pulled too hard and I pulled it out of Mom's hands. It's not easy. It's a labor of love, and really only for this super beautiful yarn am I doing this, and it's probably going to be a once in a lifetime thing. Yes, that is the story of the sweater. And since I'm holding this in my hand, this was a just a random basket, which once probably had a lining, but I had it without one, and I wanted a lining, so I made one out of Christmas fabric for a Christmas colored red basket. What else? I have been gifted 2 knitting patterns that I have not gotten around to making, but I did want to tell you about them. One is the I Am Not a Snowflake pattern by Debbie. I will put the name of her designer. I will put her designer name on the screen because I can't remember from the top of my head. The pattern is called I'm Not a Snowflake, and it's a patterned sock with Fair Isle snowflake around the leg part, and they did have a knit-along in the goodness, words, people. There was a knit-along in Debbie and Amy's Ravelry group, but sorry, this has ended. I just haven't podcasted in too long. And yeah, but that's where you can see all the beautiful finished socks. Another pattern that was gifted to me that I'm really happy to share with you is the Penny Pearls pattern by Vicky, and you can find her on Instagram and Ravelry as the Vixta. And Vicky this is her second sweater design, and I would love to give away one of those patterns. So I will start a thread in the ZiaWoolz Ravelry group, and if you would like to get the pattern from Vicky, please enter and tell me if you have any ideas about what yarn you would like to use for your sweater, or what you like about the sweater, why you would like to make it. It is a very simple and beginner-friendly pattern that probably anybody could tackle even as their first sweater. I have one more exciting news, and that is a knit-along, which will be starting in January. On January 1st. The reason is that I have been invited to co-host this with a German podcasting friend. She has also, like I said, a podcast. Her name is Tina, and we wanted to have a shawl knit along, and then I said, oh, why not make it a 2-colored shawl, because I had some ideas in my head, and so that's the plan for now. We have a hashtag which I will put on the screen for you, and I hope you will join us. We think that we will give you plenty of time to complete the shawl. I am thinking probably end of March. And but I will let you know once we're a little bit into the knit along. And but I did want to share with you what I plan to make. It's the Melanie Berg pattern, the white out. It requires 2 yarns, and I am thinking. Sorry, there's some crinkling. I am thinking I would like to use my super fancy caveat, which I had already shown you. It's the yarn that I brought from Alaska in summer. And I wanted to combine it with this. so excited about these colors and the materials. So this one has 750 yards. That sounds very much like a lace weight, even though it does not say it. It is dyed by Raven Frog Fibers in Sitka, Alaska. And it's such a cool blend of materials. 51% silk, 29 merino, and 20 sea-cell. So, such beautiful colors in it. Love it. Like, yeah. Oh, you see. And then there's a hint of an orange in here, and that's why I think it's going to work just great. And so I'm going to use this, which is a Kiviet and silk blend of 50-50. And each one has 218 yards. I hope this is going to work for the shawl pattern, but I think it will. So I'm coming to an end now. I wanted to thank you again for spending this year with me. I hope your year was perfect too, just like mine, and I hope your Christmas was wonderful and you enjoyed all the time with your families. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you had a wonderful holiday season, and I am very much looking forward to hanging out with you again in 2019. All my best wishes for a happy and a woolly 2019. Happy knitting. Bye.